Chapter 1: The Unsung Professional. Do you work in a basic job or a mid-level position at a hotel, hospital, software company, or government office? Or are you a self-employed professional, like a doctor, lawyer, or journalist? Chances are, you are educated, speak English, and have experience in the corporate world. You might have an MBA or be studying engineering. You likely see yourself as a professional or on your way to becoming one. No matter what you do or where you are in your career, it's likely that your job is considered more prestigious than that of someone who buries unclaimed bodies from city hospitals. However, just having a higher status job doesn't necessarily make you a true professional. I know a man named Mahadeva who has dedicated his life to handling dead bodies, specifically those that are unclaimed. His work is grim and doesn't require a formal degree, yet he embodies the true spirit of professionalism more than many white-collar workers. Mahadeva's story began when he was a child. He moved to Bangalore after his mother abruptly left their village and family. They ended up living on the streets, and his mother worked hard to support him until she fell ill. She took him to Victoria Hospital, a government-run facility, where she was admitted in a confused state. Young Mahadeva made the streets outside the hospital his home, finding friends among other street children. For the first time, he felt a sense of belonging. But one day, he learned that his mother had died. He was confused and heartbroken. The hospital had waited 3 days for someone to claim her body, but when no one came, they had to dispose of it, as is often the case in India with unclaimed bodies. Suddenly, Mahadeva was an orphan. Some people in the hospital raised money to send him back to his village, but he refused. That's when he met an old man who often helped poor villagers navigate the city. This man had arranged for Mahadeva's mother to get a hospital bed. Out of pity, he invited Mahadeva to live with him. Like Mahadeva, the old man had no family. Under his guidance, Mahadeva grew up helping out in the hospital. To Mahadeva, the hospital became his entire world. One day, the police asked him to bury an unclaimed body and paid him 200 rupees for the task. This marked the beginning of his career. From that day on, whenever the police found a body with no one to claim it, they called Mahadeva. His job was to retrieve the body from the morgue, hire a horse-drawn carriage, transport the body to a burial ground, and dig the grave, all for just 200 rupees. After finishing one job, he would wait at the hospital for the next call. Mahadeva approached his work with dedication and care, which quickly made him a sought-after person for this grim task. As his workload increased, he bought his own horse-drawn carriage. However, one day, his horse died. The community, having watched Mahadeva's hard work over the years, came together to buy him an auto rickshaw. Today, a picture of that horse is his logo, painted on his rickshaw and featured on his business card. Over his lifetime, Mahadeva has buried more than 42,000 bodies, earning him significant recognition. Local gas stations even fill up his hearse for free, and the Chief Minister of Karnataka has thanked him for his selfless service to the city's abandoned citizens. Mahadeva takes pride in his work, and now his son has joined him in this business. Mahadeva exemplifies what it means to be a high performer and a true professional. So, what are the two key qualities that make Mahadeva a professional, rather than just someone with a job? The first is his ability to work without supervision, and the second is his capacity to certify that his work is complete. Whenever Mahadeva receives a call to go to the morgue, whether it's day or night, rain or shine, he shows up. His job is tough and often gruesome, as he usually has no way of knowing how or when someone died. In his line of work, Mahadeva doesn't get to choose his clients, he accepts every body, regardless of its condition. When he buried the man who had taken him in after his mother's death, he cried and honored him with a garland. That moment made him realize that he should show respect to all the bodies he buried, not just that of his benefactor. Mahadeva believes that everyone, whether alive or dead, deserves respect, no matter their background. The police do not supervise Mahadeva, and he is not an employee of the hospital. He has no boss to evaluate his performance or provide feedback for improvement. He is accountable only to himself. When he picks up a corpse, he takes it directly to the burial ground. There are no stops along the way. he completes the task with the urgency it requires. Each time, he ensures that every step is done properly, from covering the body respectfully to digging a grave that is 6 feet deep, even though he knows no one is watching or would question his work. In most jobs, people who create something of value often need supervision. If someone requires constant oversight, they are not truly a professional, they are more like an amateur or an apprentice. The ability to certify completion is a powerful concept. It's easy to understand when we think about artists like painters, musicians, or sculptors. Only they can determine when their work is finished and ready for the world. A painter knows when their painting is complete, just as a musician understands when a piece of music is fully realized. No one else can judge whether they could have done better or if they truly gave their best effort. This same ability to recognize what constitutes completion and to self-certify applies to many professions. For example, a software engineer must write code that is free of defects and meets all requirements. A young lawyer needs to study a case thoroughly and prepare a brief that is accurate and compelling. A surgeon must ensure that every instrument is removed and that the patient is stitched up properly before concluding the operation. In each of these cases, the professional must have the discernment to know when their work is complete and to take responsibility for its quality. Mahadeva's work exemplifies this idea. He doesn't have a supervisor checking on him or a manager evaluating his performance. He operates independently, and he takes pride in the quality of his work. He understands the importance of treating each body with dignity and respect, regardless of the circumstances of their death. His commitment to his job goes beyond just completing tasks. It reflects a deep sense of responsibility and compassion for those who have no one else to care for them. In a world where many people seek recognition and status through their jobs, Mahadeva stands out as a true professional. His work may not be glamorous, but it is essential. He has found a way to give meaning to his life through his service to others, and in doing so, he has earned the respect of his community. Mahadeva's story challenges our perceptions of professionalism and success. It reminds us that true professionalism is not defined by job titles or salaries but by the dedication, integrity, and respect we show in our work. Whether we are burying the dead or managing a corporate team, the qualities that make us professionals are the same: the ability to work independently, the commitment to quality, and the respect we show to others. Mahadeva's life and work illustrate that professionalism can be found in the most unexpected places. His journey from a homeless child to a respected figure in his community serves as a powerful reminder that every job has value and that true professionals can emerge from any background. It is not the nature of the work that defines a professional, but the attitude and dedication with which they approach it. Mahadeva is a shining example of this truth, and his story inspires us to reflect on our own definitions of professionalism and success.